Family, can unforgiveness make you sick?
We must face the moment of truth, baby.
Let's face the truth here at 180 Truth. Family, welcome back to 180 Truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
I'm Dr. Norio Chaparro, your brother minister, and I want to get into it here regarding unforgiveness. But before I do, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch because I don't publish often. Leave a comment, subscribe. You know, as a Christian, oftentimes we're commanded to forgive, right? Jesus told us, he said, forgive up to 70 times 70. And he said, forgive if you want even to be forgiven. He says that in Matthew chapter 6. So it's a command. It can feel like a burden, especially if someone has done you wrong. And that's a reality where the issue of forgiveness is also mixed in with grieving and processing things like betrayal and disappointment and resentment. So forgiving someone is not easy, depending on the offense, depending on the relationship, depending on the expectations, depending on, again, the offense, the violation. But let's get into it here because this doctor makes a case for forgiveness. Dr. Robert Singleton II makes this case and he backs it up. There is research to back it up. Let's get into it here at 180 Truth. Thank you for being here at 180 Truth, and I want to encourage you to come on through to simplyaviance.com, get some fresh gear, help me get a cup of coffee. Simplyaviance.com. If you sign up for the first time, 25% off your first order and free shipping on orders of $100 or more. Please, we are a small business out of Winter Haven, Florida. Come through and support the channel. Support simplyaviance.com.
Did you know unforgiveness can make you sick? According to research by doctors at Johns Hopkins, there is an enormous physical burden to holding on to anger. Chronic anger and unforgiveness put you into a fight or flight mode, which results in numerous changes in heart rate, blood pressure, and immune response. Those changes then increase the risk of depression, heart disease, and diabetes, among other conditions. Forgiveness, however, calms stress levels, leading to improved health.
Family, I'm going to put the link to the articles that he's actually referring to regarding Johns Hopkins. You can look it up yourself. But he's saying, hey, unforgiveness can make you sick. So it's amazing to me that the commandments of God always benefit us, but they require dying to self. Let's take a look at some of these comments here on his Instagram page. He asked the question, do you believe it? Someone says, Diane, it's frustrating how much responsibility falls on the abused to forgive and heal, while the abuser seems unaffected. Despite forgiveness, sometimes the abuser continues to harm, leading others to perceive the victim as bitter, when in reality, they're simply trying to cope, establish boundaries, and move forward. Great points to Diana. I would simply say that, number one, we have to remember that you don't have to forgive. You're still free not to, but we're going to suffer the consequences. Number two, the person who's done the violation, well, unless they have experienced a conviction in their heart that what they've done is wrong, they're not going to take responsibility. And that's important for us to remember, that I can forgive someone, but also hold them responsible, hold them accountable. Another point that she's making, she seems to say, hey, the abused are always simply told to forgive and heal. What about the person who's perpetrating it? Well, usually, again, the victim is the one who's now being lifted up and being cared for, and hopefully the person who's perpetrated the assault, the pain, the hurts, they're being held accountable and they're paying the penalty for what they've done. But for the person who's been abused, hurt, and so on, we have to be careful because we don't want to minimize anyone's pain. But the way forward is to take the necessary steps to embrace forgiveness, because unforgiveness can make you sick. And the reality of it is that abuser, those people who've hurt us, can just live rent-free in our hearts and our minds, and we continue to be defined by that pain. Back to Basics wrote, that responsibility didn't fall on the abused in regards of the abuser as if to let them get away with it, but it falls on the abused for themselves. The abused owes it to themselves to heal and find peace after those experiences. That doesn't exempt the abuser from the consequences. Let the abused be healed. Let's make new memories, new boundaries, and new coping skills. Paraphrasing, Kay Slade says, it's all in the Bible, baby. A crushed and bitter spirit dries the bones too. Paraphrasing some scriptures there. You can forgive someone and still not let them back into your life. Forgiveness is for yourself, not the other person. And again, that sounds like a selfish thing, but the reality of it is that forgiveness means what? I'm not going to demand from you the debt that's owed. I'm not going to expect you to be able to even pay it. I release you from that debt. I'm going to absorb it, going to let it go. But she's also right. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Forgiveness doesn't mean that this person re-enters your life. That requires a deeper process of healing, of reconciliation, of earning trust again. There's so much that goes into that. But reconciliation is really even only possible not just if the person forgives, but that the perpetrator actually repents. That is, has a change of heart and mind and bears, as it says, John the Baptist says, bear fruit worthy of repentance.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Family, I want you to be free. So I saw this and I decided to share it to those that subscribe. But please go ahead, hit like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. Go on ahead and please also share this video. I don't want anyone to feel like I'm trying to minimize their pain, their hurts, what they've been through. I wanted to add another real life reason why Jesus says for us to forgive, and why the scriptures always admonish us to forgive. That forgiveness sets us free to be who God's called us to be, so that our best selves can shine, so that we can really learn from hindsight and not repeat the same mistakes. But forgiveness does not mean reconciliation if there is no repentance. And repentance, well, that takes time as well to see whether there is fruit worthy of repentance, to see if someone has really changed. What about you, family? Who do you have in your life that you need to say, okay, I'm going to forgive this person? And forgiveness itself can be a process that we're not meant to go through alone. With God, with the spiritual disciplines, with a community of faith that includes our trusted pastors, elders, those who serve us, as well as counselors who can help us explore the deeper issues in our souls. Therapy is one of the ways God helps us to be all the disciples of Christ God has called us to be.
Now you know the truth.
Family, you know what to do. Thank you so much for being here at 180 Truth.